right. Welcome. This is Mongoose Live. Very extremely random. This afternoon, I was in between work, and then I saw a post by none other than my guest tonight, Xeng Thao, also known as Ruthless One. And I saw his post, and his post was basically this. He made a post on his Facebook social media page, and he asked the question, do you guys want to do a Q&A session? And I started seeing questions posed. And I said, well, I actually, he doesn't know this, but I've been wanting to ask him to do a live session, and so the opportunity presented itself. And so I decided to ask him, hey, if you look, you can see it. Maybe we'll look at it in just a sec. But I asked him, hey, do you want to do a live session? If you're gonna do a Q&A session anyways, I'd be more than happy to facilitate it and meet you. I've been meaning to meet you, and so we kind of got into contact with each other. And lo and behold, here we are. We're doing a Hmongoose live session with Xeng. This is kind of actually his project, so a lot of these will be questions that you guys have posed to him on his personal page, and so we're gonna kind of roll fit here, and we'll kind of do like a hybrid a hybrid session here, where I'll do my thing, where I'll kind of talk to you guys a little bit about Ruthless One. I think that most of you probably know who he is. He is very much an emerging artist, but we're gonna also assume that some of you may not know him. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of both, and we're going to ask questions. And as always, here on Mongoose Live, we create community. So feel free to contact us through the chat and ask your questions. I've met him. We've spoken really briefly before this live session. I've not met him before, but he is a highly intelligent guy. I've been looking at his videos, his music, and he is extremely talented. One of the most talented younger producers, videographers, artists um, at this time. And so let's just take a quick look at who he is. If you don't know who he is, again, my guest tonight is none other than Xeng Thao from Appleton, Wisconsin. And he's also known as, if you've seen him on flyers, and he actually goes by Ruthless One. So you see Ruthless One, that's who it is. But I'll let him explain exactly what R1 or Ruthless One is. But let's just do a little bit of housekeeping here. If you're here, then please do me a huge fan. You can like and share this video feed if you're enjoying what you're doing. If you're watching, you can also, hey, give me a little bit of hand by tossing some stars in my direction. You can also like and share Xeng also on his page. In the video description, you can find the link to his YouTube and also his Facebook page. And of course, you can subscribe to Mongoose on YouTube, and don't forget to hit that notification button. And also, in addition to that, you can also subscribe to him also. But let's take one moment to just look at if you were to look at his social media material, what it would look like. So we're going to look at two things. The first thing is his Facebook page. So if you go on Facebook, you can find him under Xeng Thao or LX Tao. Let's make sure this is correct. Yeah. And so you can find him right here. He responds really quick to messages. And so yeah, here's a little announcement I made. Sorry, Xeng, I just kind of threw this together, and you looked badass on that bike. So I said, hey, let's use that picture of him. So I did that together really quick, really random. And so here's actually the post that kind of did it all. He asked us Q&A live video, anyone? And so I said, yeah, sure. Why don't we do something together? And if you look in here, you'll see our interaction. But I thank Xeng so much for on extremely short notice doing this. On a tangent, I was actually going to do a series. So what I'm doing, for those who know, the next couple of weeks, I'm doing a set of live sessions with emerging artists. And I didn't ask Xeng because what people don't know, like I've kind of mentioned it, but I have not formally announced it. I was going to do a music producer series also, and that's where I was actually going to add Xeng in. But this opportunity came about, and it was just good timing, and I had the time, so I just went ahead and asked Xeng, hey, why don't we just do a session together? And we made it work. So here we are today. Let's close. Let's take that. And so Xeng is helping to promote the Players concert in North Carolina. He'll talk a little bit more. But then you can also find Lee Sang on his Facebook page. I'm sorry, on his YouTube page. This is where you'll find the wealth of his videos. And so you can find it under Ruthless One Music right here. Here it is. And so if you haven't yet, here, actually, there. I haven't done it myself, just did it right now. Subscribe to Ruthless One Music. But I've been watching him really closely. He recently came out with a video, which we'll take a peek at it tonight too. We'll look at several videos tonight with Lee Sang, and he'll give us the inside commentary on the videos. The most recent one being Dimua, and then he's got a bunch of other ones. This is one of my favorites. I've been listening to this one on his Facebook page, but really creative song. Really creative song with none other than the beautiful Kiana Lore. I've had the privilege of having Kiana with me on Hmongoose Live in the past, and then we'll also look at a couple of other songs. But without further ado, let's bring Lee Sang on. Hey bro, how are you?
Good. How's everybody doing? Mom, how are you doing?
I'm doing great tonight. Thank you so much for kind of just deciding and agreeing to do this. I appreciate it so much. I think we're gonna have a good time tonight.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm glad to be here tonight.
let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. Pele here, Ruthless One in the house. You must know Pele. He's in yeah, you sure know him. He's in the players. You'll be
Yep.
playing with them. We've also got a couple people here. Let's say hi to him before he gets out of control. The artist Kong Vu says hi. Have you met Kong Vu? He's from Minnesota.
Yes, I have. We did this fundraiser event. I remember for I believe it's like a Hmong Association fundraiser. We shared the stage up there a couple of times. It was an outdoor event. That's where I first met Kong, and he's also a great videographer himself too. So I'm aware of that.
Yep. Panya, how are you? Pele says so many Packer fans in here. I know. Oh, we got none other than Aiden in here. Hey, Aiden, how are you? Aiden said, "That's my guy right there. Great artist and great writer." Oh, we'll have to talk about your writing too. Sheesh. Yeah.
One of my music video does have my old bike in there too. So if you guys want to, it's in the Chai music video. I wanted to show a little bit highlight on
Right.
that bike, so it's in there too.
All right. Sang from Sax says hello. Have you met Sang? Hopefully you have. Um,
Might have. Yep.
So if you come up as Facebook user, it's a glitch that Restream and StreamYard they have. It just doesn't. There's something that happens with Facebook. If this happens, and then Lee Sang and I, we can't see who it is without looking on our phones. But if you're here, then just let us know who you are. Love his music and filming. Yep. People don't know how hard it is to do music and video. It takes a lot of work, right? Would you agree, Lee Sang?
Yes, definitely. It's very time consuming and a lot of coordination. And yeah, when you're the one man team, it's a big headache. But we
But
managed.
I would say it's really empowering to know how to do both. Would you agree?
Yeah, it first started off as like always wanted music videos, but I couldn't find a guy to do it. So you got to learn it yourself. And
Or there are certain shots that you just want it a certain way, but if you don't know how to do it, then it's really frustrating.
exactly. Yep. Yep.
So Dua says hi. Hey, if you guys are here, support Jamong, um, Vice Vu Mongoose. You need to bring my boy ZPX on here. Um, I had
He's got a lot of
ZPX
free
on
time.
here. I had ZPX on here in the past. I need to bring him back. Hello from St. Paul. May no, thanks for joining us tonight. Um, okay, another Facebook user that we can't identify. Hey, Long and Lee Sang. Can't wait to meet Lee Sang and share the stage with him next week. That's Pong. Hey, Pong, how are you?
Um,
Yep.
we will
Pong
be show next week. Yep.
next week. So where are you guys going next week?
We're gonna be in St. Paul. It's the venue is Hmong House, hosted by Oyo Entertainment. So
Okay, cool. Oh,
yeah,
so that's like the pre nouveau thing. Is that right?
yeah. I guess
Oh
I
no,
guess
or is
it
it, that
does have me associating with it, but
that's the
it's
Uvalong one. Is that
yep.
right?
That's his release party. Yep, album release party. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. Pal from Sacramento. Hey, Pal, how are you? Um, Yang says Yang from Minnesota. Good evening. Pal also says hi to Lee Sang. Um, Michelle, who
Oh, that's
is the
Michelle.
host of KBIF 900. If you haven't met her, Lee saying you'll meet her. She toss your music at her. She'll play it.
Oh, she's been playing it.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a couple of conversations with her. She's a very big supporter of all our young, upcoming artists and music, and she showed a lot of love. So definitely, and I watched a lot of her live streams too. And
Yep, she just interviewed Maya just moments ago, probably. She probably just got off the air. Virginia says hi. We'll go through these a little faster. I know that Sa, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going on YouTube. So yeah, that's what happens. A lot of people who can't get their names seen, they go on YouTube. That's fine too. That works. And so Lee saying I'm saying this three ways. I actually, me and Lee saying we tried to get it to go to Lee Sang's site, but there was a little bit of difficulty in doing that. Yeah, lovely Sang's music, may known. And we got folks from. I'm assuming this is Vaseng from Alaska. He said he was going to be here, so we got folks from Alaska. And B says hi. Yep, there he is. Vaseng Va. Yep, from.
yep.
And then we got Jesus here too. Jesus is the father of the band Seng. It's kind of
Okay.
interesting because when I do these sessions, there's like half of them are like artists, so it's really cool. You never know who's gonna come in and watch you here, but I know that you know a lot of artists too. But so to recap, I saw your post this afternoon, and then you asked, you posed the question to your audience on Facebook. Does anyone want to do a Q&A session? So that's what we're going to do, because you've already fielded a bunch of questions, and so naturally I think the best thing to do is just to really field those questions. But if you're here, then I'll give priority to you guys. If you guys throw up a question, then we'll get to your question, and then we'll continue on the list. Is that cool, Lee Sang?
That is fine with me. Yep.
Okay, so very good. Kang says, glad to see you on Mongoose. Long definitely has a nice outlet for emerging artists and Hmong media in general. Keep up the great work. Yeah, definitely. This is kind of my little niche as a semi-retired musician, just helping other young people. Because
Mm.
I always wanted this, to have this platform. Because what I noticed is that if we don't create our own platform, then we just don't get heard. So someone's got to do it.
Yep.
Very
That's
nice.
correct.
Why don't we jump to it? Because I think the questions will answer a lot of things that we want to do. And so these are questions from your readers on your webpage. But why don't we just start with what we see here? So one person asked, "What is R1?"
So R1 is literally ruthless. I mean, it's Ruthless One. It's to start it off. I'll make sure everybody is well aware that Ruthless One is not a band. I've received that remark and question while I'm on
Mm,
stage or backstage, and from a lot of fans that caught me at the bar getting wasted with some friends. Yo, you're Ruthless One, man. Where's the rest of your band at? It's not a band. We can get that clarification.
mhm,
It was named Ruthless One in intent to have a band,
mm,
but it seemed that the other bands wasn't in the likings of pursuing this field of work. So
mm,
I decided, since I could do it, I'm the keyboardist and I sung most of the time. So I could probably continue with my passion. So I decided to move forward with it by myself. Kept the name because I thought it was kind of cool too, and
mm,
yeah, it was initially Ruthless One intended to be a band name, but um, it's just me out of Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm a solo artist
mhm,
with a genre of rock, alternate rock music, maybe some pop rock soon.
mhm,
Not too crazy dark, although I do have some kind of lightish dark rock coming up next year, next spring when I finally get back in there. Yoshi Tao says, I used to be called Alex T, which is my initial. Back when I was 17, 16, when I first started, dropping the YouTube page and content, I was called Alex T, which is just Lee Xeng Thao. That's when I was all into R&B, auto tune, and a little bit of rap here and there. But I finally found this year to be my a couple years past this couple years that rock is something I always had in my blood and enjoyed singing and playing music like that. So that's where I found my voice was this style. So
Shang asked a really good question, and it's appropriate. She says, should we just call you LXT, or do you want to go Lee Sang?"
You can say Alex T. I mean, like these people are the ones that knew me for the longest time. So
Okay, so
Alex T
so
is
people that are calling you LXT, they go back then.
yeah, they go back to 2006.
2000.
So
Wow. So
yeah,
you've been
2006
in this for a
Alex
while
T.
then.
Yeah, so I've been producing, self-producing since I was like 13, 12
Wow.
for my dad and my family. They
Huh.
always loved karaokeing, so they found out that I have a talent to produce out of a keyboard,
Huh.
meaning like a synthesizer. So I've done karaoke's for the family, and that's where my talent started. So
Very
Alex
good.
T.
So she asked, when did you start getting into music? Who and why? Let's pull back a little bit in terms of when I noticed you, Lee, saying it was the song "Li Ku." Was that single Ruthless One, or was that group Ruthless One, or is it kind of, what stage was that at?
Um, that was already just me. I released that video, that song. Um, it, the people that played in the music video, people get confused with it being the hey, that's your band, or those people that was playing with you in there. No, it was all staged, obviously on set, and they're my friends that I do jam with. They are also very good musicians,
Hmm.
are instrumentalists or players too. It's just that I needed some kind of background guys just to keep the vibe of the rock song together. So I invited my friends. Hey, let's do a music video. What do you guys think? And then they're like, hey, dude, let's do it. Let's get on this music video. We jam all the time together. Let's get this music video done for you, and let's keep this rock stuff alive. So
That's
a lot of
cool.
the music video that had the band involved. There's just a lot of my supporters, my friends, and the people I jam with all the time.
So to answer Shane, you started music around 13-ish, playing keyboard, creating karaoke music. I'm curious, as a keyboardist also, what keyboard were you using?
So I started with okay, so I started borrowing my cousin's Roland X8 X8. I think that's what it was.
Huh.
And then I finally got my own when my dad bought it. It was a Phantom X8. So it's the Roland Phantom X8. It's very old. It came out in 2004 or 5. I think we
Mm-hmm.
purchased it for like, and obviously we got the 8, so it's 88 keys. That thing weighs like a ton.
Mm.
So I started the Phantom X8, and then I use that ever since. I never changed up until when I started doing music again. Now that I'm finally got on the software, on the computer or the DAW system
So
or
prior to going on a DAW, for those who don't know, DAW is digital audio workstation. So if we say
yeah.
DAW, that's what we're talking about. It's DAW. So for those
Oh,
who don't know,
yep.
if you hear us say DAW, it's not a DOLL, it's DAW, digital audio workstation. You'll hear us say that a little bit because I think Mono, I wouldn't be surprised if Lee Sang and I would talk a little shop. Um,
Yeah.
but that being said, so you started on a keyboard too. So you have a lot of history because you know how hard it was on a keyboard versus on a DAW. It's like if you work on a keyboard, then you know the struggle.
The
All right,
struggle
so
of
that's good.
undo.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So we're in the same book. So a lot of people, a lot of younger folks, they only know DAW. They never had to deal with keyboard, which actually keyboard's not bad. It's good in its own way too.
It's
Um,
good if you have it on like a performance night and you're like, oh, I gotta quick, snap in a quick loop for this guy or this person singing, and then you snap something together real quick. All through headphones, but like to actually produce a full song, it's a lot of more work, given that you're
yeah.
so limited to.
So Vasenkas, I heard your song for the first time last week. So that's probably, I'm assuming, Dimua. And then and I love it. Oh, Dimua, yeah. Hey, thank you so much, Vaseng, for writing your name in here because we can't see you. We only see you as a Facebook user. So very interesting. And what I did notice, so I was looking at your videos, Lee Sang, and then Yang said it right. Lee Sang, why do you always die or fight in your music videos?
So honestly, I just feel like it fits the mood of the rock type of rock music I do. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you guys don't mind if I speak a little Monglish too, I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
it matches because like to you what you go rock now you can get more shit that you want to show the emotion, you don't feel the pain because it's very emo. I know it's a term that's way out of trend now, but back in the high school days in like early 2000, 4 5 6 and 7, There was a style we call emo, and it's just a sad thing. It's really dark. It's not dark rock, heavy metal, but it's just a sad kind of vibe. So
Is there still emo? Is that still do younger people still do emo?
no, actually, that's way out of trend. Nobody even knows what. I mean, they do know what it was, but they laugh at it because the hairstyle. And I almost want to like say a lot of stuff about the younger generation, but they say it's emo, and they just automatically think it's rock music or like sad rock music. But
Hmm.
emo has a lot of talent into singing the emo genre. It never became a genre, but to sing emo, your voice has to be so crisp and so like you gotta be like I don't know, like a higher end voice, and you gotta sing like you're pooping or something, constipated. It's just it's a Nick Jonas kind of type thing. And then King
Nice.
Emo's not dead. It's not a
Okay.
phase. It's a lifestyle. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Very good. The people are wanting to talk shop, so we'll just go right to the shop.
yeah.
So we've got a list of questions that were asked, but we're gonna hit these guys that are on live with us first because I think the questions will overlap. But Kong's getting to it because we're talking shops. He wants to know now what program do you use to produce your music?
So I to produce my music, I just use a typical FL Studio. Um, like everybody else, every beat maker out there.
Hmm.
I've heard that that's great for pop, hip hop, rap, but I actually, if you buy the right plugins, presets or samples, you can do rock music right out of there too. It's very easy. But when I record, I use Pro Tools.
Hmm.
Obviously, Pro Tools is more flexible on audio sampling, vocals, and
Hmm.
everything. So I do run two softwares. I run FL Studio, and then I record in um, Pro Tools.
So you take
And
your audio from Pro Tools and then you import it into FL.
FL to Pro Tools.
Oh, FL to Pro Tools.
Pro Tools,
Ah, I
because that's
see.
where I record all my vocals, and it's easier because sampling is more flexible.
So what do you do? I guess the question is, what do you do in FL Studio? So FL Studio is his particular DAW. When he's saying
Yep.
when we're talking about program, remember DAW. This Vice said DAW, no DAW, not DAW as in Zhao and DAW. No,
Yeah.
we're talking about DAW. So what do you do in FL before you go to Pro Tools?
So I select all my instruments. I fine tune my drum set. No, your every instrument, your fine bass, guitar. I have all
Mm,
my plugins, all my amp plugins. Like the cabinets for the guitars to make it sound like the perfect distortion, the perfect
oh,
width. So I that's where I create all my patterns, guitar
mm,
patterns, drum patterns. And then once I have a full track kind of pre-mastered, I wouldn't say pre-mastered because I do the mastering in Pro Tools.
mhm,
So once I have like a rough stem or like a rough track of the whole overall instrumental, then I send it out to Pro Tools, and then
mm,
that's where I record all my vocals because you don't want to send a mastered instrumental and then record over it and then try to master it all together again. No, you're just overlapping.
yeah.
You run out of bandwidth on your equalizer.
So let's say
So
your guitars on when you're making your guitars in FL. What's your? I would say what are your top two favorite guitar? Um, I guess you could say plugins.
I use I use session guitarists
Hmm.
from what is it? I think it's Wave. Are you
Uh,
familiar with Wave?
I think that's
Yeah,
native. That's Contact.
Nate. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
native
the
native
Contact is
instrument.
the main player, the plug-in player, and then I buy the guitar sessionist to into that Contact, and then I may be able to play some of their pre-made like patterns, like
Huh.
it's just straight up power chords, distortion. And I also bought their solo part piece too, so you can actually play solo single
Uh-huh.
string notes.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the solos that's in my music is not real. It's digital. It's pattern that I created according to my previous experience playing in a band, how I hear it, and I try
Hmm.
to imitate that sound
So
of a
you're
real
playing on a
guitar.
keyboard.
Pretty much,
Oh,
yes.
cool.
Yep, yep.
Cool, cool. Right on. Very nice. I'm kind of cool says Email's not dead.
Never
Oh
will.
yeah. And he pretty much said what you said. Yeah, emo's not dead, it's a phase, a lifestyle. Okay, so here we go. We got an interesting person talking. We got Trey here. You obviously know Trey.
又
各位小朋友好，
跟小朋友
大家 ขอป้อนเจก็ parent แล้วปัวเจก็ okay, that's a legit question.
That's actually a funny story. I do have a story with that. If you guys want to hear, it's pretty short. We'll keep it short and sweet. So I first got my ear pierced when I was 18. Because obviously 18, I can go to the store and get it pierced. And then that night was actually my 18th birthday. It was October 30th. So I went to get my ears pierced. And then I came home and my dad saw it and I was laying in my bed. He's like, why am I keep turning the other way? Because I only got one side pierced at that time. So I turned the other way. He's like, are you sick? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just want to get up. And then he flipped me around because my dad's curious. I'm the only child. So he's worried. So he flipped and he saw my ears and he grabbed it. He's like, are you going to take this off? You're going to let this heal, right? And I'm like, no, I really like it. And then he started yelling. And then he kicked me out of the house that night. So I slept in the garage, in my car in the garage for like that whole night and all day the next day. So I spent my 18th birthday in the garage pretty much. So it's pretty weird. I mean, funny, but I mean, I guess he just cares a lot. He didn't really kick me out, but he did come looking for me, but he didn't know I was in the garage. So he couldn't find me for like 2 days. So yeah, it's,
That's
yeah.
a pretty
So
sweet story.
to answer Trey's question, yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
Man, look at Trey planning these questions. Trey. Trey doesn't ever want to come on, by the way. I've asked Trey. Trey just asks the questions. Smart guy. He gets to ask the questions, he doesn't answer them though. Let's see here. My Gao Chang, my leap. Oh, she's tagging people.
Oh,
Tune in if you can. Okay. So here, Sure's here. Sure says another FL user here. I've never used FL, but I use Logic because I just buy into the whole entire Apple system. But I am interested in also Ableton. But I had bad experiences with Pro Tools in the past. Long time ago though. Old school Pro Tools was very bad.
Pro Tools 6 or something like that. I had
Yeah,
6.
the older ones where every time they changed it, you had to upgrade, and I just gave up after that.
Way before the subscription thing.
Yeah. So Kua says, give us a live acoustic set. Yeah.
Not the best live, I'll tell you that.
Okay, very good. Well, let's jump back to some of the questions that they were asking. Yeah, here we go. So someone asked, what were your first earliest gigs as R1?
So that's a good question. I actually do remember. So I used to go to church with my parents when they were still together. So we went to church. I was about I think 11, and I still made music from the keyboard, obviously. So I made the song White Shadow. What is it called? I don't remember the name. Oh,
That's a
god
White
dang
Shadow
it.
song.
It's two White Shadow song, and then we had like this gathering for the church, and then I went in and we had a lot of people there, and that was like they asked me if I want to go perform that song, and that was back in 2004, or is it three or four, and then I performed that. That was my first gig ever. Obviously, I didn't get paid. I got free food, and I was so that was my like legitimately my first time on
that was
stage.
at 11, you said.
I was 11 or
Wow.
12 because I remember my voice changed when I was like, I think
Got
my
some
voice didn't
bass.
even change yet during that time.
Suddenly got
I was
some
late.
bass.
Yeah. So yeah, I was 12. I think it was 12. Yep.
That was in Appleton.
Yes, it was, to be exact, Kimberly, Wisconsin, which is like a neighboring city to Appleton, small city next to us. So yeah.
All right. So good question. Here's another question from your site. Which song, in your opinion, was the most complex to write, produce, and create?
So it goes, that's kind of spread it out. I mean, there wasn't one that included all of those. It was hard, it was complex to produce and create. I think the most complex or hardest to produce was my first song, Likua, because that whole bass line and then the whole guitar solo, the whole double bass kick and the drum having to match everything up together. I think that was one of my hardest one. I spent about 2-3 months producing the track. Because you make it and then you come back and you listen to it and it doesn't sound right and sound good. You keep remixing it. But one of the songs that I wrote that I like the most, that has the most meaningful, I feel like, maybe it's just my opinion, but I think it's one of the songs that was kind of widely missed by a lot of my viewers. It's the one that's called Chipao Nea. It's the vampire one. I don't know if you've seen it.
I saw that. I was watching
Yeah.
it.
So if you listen to the lyrics, it's speaking about my the non-supporters. So it's kind of like you're never. It talks about you're never gonna get anywhere because the people don't want to see you see the light. You can't fly away from them. It's kind of that genre. So it's just kind of like raise awareness that you have to pick yourself up, and not everybody's gonna see what you see, kind of type. So I think Liku is one of the hardest one I produced, and then Chipone is I put a lot of heart and soul into writing that one because I was feeling that one at the moment. So
Why don't we look at Liku? Because for me that was the first song where I caught eye of who you were. Um, what year would you say Liku was made?
uh, it was actually made 2019 and it wasn't
20,
released until 2020.
2019. Okay, well
Yeah.
let's take a look at it. I'll turn the volume down a little bit, and you can kind of give us the commentary. Um, for those that are watching, if this is the first time you're watching it or hearing this song, then it's gonna be awful for listening because I'm gonna try to get Lee Sang to give us commentary. So if you want to listen to it without us yapping away, then you have to watch it. Go back and support his page and watch that video. Okay, so here we go.
So I used to run a production thing called Lucid, but it's no longer. King Capture is my guy, my main videographer.
He's been with you for a while.
Yes, he's been a really long time supporter, and he shot all my music video when I'm in the scene. So when I'm not in the scene, yeah, I think it's good. Just a little side fact on this music video: we shot all of these under one day. We spent, I believe, 15 hours shooting this, or 12, the full 12, 15 hours. We woke up at 8 in the morning. We started filming the beach scene. And then,
where'd you guys film at?
This is in Appleton, all over Appleton, all over town, outskirts, beach, lake, downtown Appleton. And yeah, it was a really tiring day. Total of just 8 hours of shooting, but we had to wait till nightfall to get the night shots. It was a lot of dedication to the team. And King is in there. He's the guy that says he was talking about emo's not dead. It's not a face.
Well, that's him. Okay, I see.
Yeah. And then he's also King right there with the guitar. He also was in my latest music video again because he loves supporting me. And from the start, he's always been there. So a big shout out to Gang Bang for always being there and always trying to learn the bass line to the songs that I created out of a doll instead of real. So kudos for him. Emo rock part.
So would you say this is emo?
No, this is not even emo. This is kind of just alternative rock. A little bit of anime vibe to it because the piano. I think if there's no piano, no strings, it's just alternative rock. But once you throw in the strings, the orchestra, the piano keys into it, then you start getting that Japanese vibe to it.
Yeah, now that you mentioned, I can definitely hear that.
Yep. And I do grow up watching anime too, so I mean, I have a little that. So this shot right here, he's actually playing the bass line.
It's the right bass line then.
Yep, he's playing it. It's all synced too.
And again, you said this was all shot in one day.
Yeah, it was all shot on one day. Yep.
Wow, that's cool. What do you? So, are you videographer also for this?
Yeah.
Or was it Chang?
So these shots I did. If I'm not in it, I'm done in it. But if I'm in it, then Ching is doing it like these. I think I shot this part right here. Obviously, our lighting. This is our first music videos. The lighting was not that great because you can see we had a big ass light that's playing down at them. They're so overexposed and just pitch black. So that's my fault because I just felt like it was so dark, so I needed more light on them. So that's a little bit of a flaw in the video work too.
What camera are you guys shooting with?
This was Chain Captures Fuji. I think it's the TX5. So it wasn't even full frame yet. I think. Yeah. And we just shot it on the what is that? Fuji Eterna profile. So I didn't really have to do a lot of crazy color grading. So this is all like mostly natural out of the camera. So which saved me a lot of time. And that Honda generator was what was powering that light.
There's so much that people don't realize behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Very nice. So that was your first. That was your first song. Really well done. I would have never watching that. I would have never guessed that was your first one. But yeah, there's a. I would say that there's a learning curve to video, but you kind of just the best way to do it is just the best way to get good. I think is just to actually do it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you don't. You know, it's yeah. It was our first music video, and we learned a lot that day. I mean, I think what the biggest thing I took out of that shoot was you don't need so much scenes in a music video, and I crammed like 10 scenes. Originally I had 10 scenes, and at the end of the day when we finished we only shot 4 or 5, and I somehow made it kind of make sense, so we cut out a lot of stuff.
I thought that was really good because sometimes you can tell when the videographer didn't shoot enough too. I'd rather be it like that than not shoot enough, and then you have to the same shots over and over again.
Yep, can never have too much multi-talented guy.
So Denang's gonna be with you guys on the 18th. Then that's cool.
Yes, that is next week Friday in Minnesota at Hmongoose. Just a reminder, Hmongoose Oil Entertainment, Gu Valoncho's album release party.
Awesome. So Facebook user, I don't know who this is, but they're here to sabotage you. All right. Okay, so Panya has a good question for you. Her question is, what inspires you and your lyrics?
So a lot of my inspiration for my lyrics, or me and then my lyrics, for me personally, it's overall it's just the type of music I grew up listening to. I grew up listening to Avril Lavigne. I bought her album. It's called Let Go, the one that goes complicated. Complicated is songs that tell me why gotta make things so complicated. And then I bought that first album and I loved her. She was my childhood crush. I love Avril Lavigne way before she got big. So a lot of the song, like the rock, is not crazy alternative, like super modern. It's more like that year, the album that Avril Lavigne dropped, and it's my first CD that I ever purchased. Following that was Bow Wow. I don't know why it went to Bow Wow, but yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it was weird. The next year I bought Bow Wow, I went to rap or R&B, but so that's what inspired me to stay. And I grew up at the skate park, so I do a lot. I skateboarded a lot when I was little. Broke a couple bones here and there. So I hung out with Mika people. I went to all Mika school. So I was one of those kids that don't go home at the park, the skate park ever. And what inspires my lyrics is just obviously just past relationship or past life experience. I think that's a lot of artists that we have in common is we write lyrics on what we know and what we went through. I mean, you can't really write a song that on a subject that you have no clue about. So, I mean,
based on your music videos, did you fight a lot?
No, I don't. I actually don't. I mean, I fought a lot of my cousins in them, but it's not like that. I like all the fights.
I'm just curious
to draw like emotions and to be. I'm a very dramatic person, and I love shooting fighting scenes. So whenever I get the chance to let's shoot this fight, let's just turn this to a fight scene, and we run it, and then we like to test out our camera angles and our cuts and try to get it more like more action packed. But I mean, we try, and
it's cool because I can't think of very many people that do that in the Hmong community. I'm thinking who else does fight scenes other than like well, I mean, there was a fight scene in Deng Cha and whatnot. But yeah, now I think about it, I'm like, there's not a whole lot of people that kind of do that. So
yeah, it's I don't know. I just feel like my type of music, the quick up pace up tempo rock that I do, it kind of matches it. I really want to do like more like anime kind of style fight, but then like it's way beyond our editing skills, and I don't think we have
Hmm.
the right green screen or
What do you
the
guys edit on?
I edit on Premiere Pro, Adobe,
Premiere.
but my guy Chang, he edits on I think DaVinci Resolve.
Hmm.
So there's a huge communication like gap there when so it's either yo bro you editing this or I'm editing it because once I start you
You
can't do
cannot
anything.
exit.
Yeah, you can't continue. You can send me the export it, but then we're stuck there, you know. So
Hmm.
that's so we usually try to figure out who's gonna do the final editing or cuts. So yeah,
So we've got Joe here. You met Joe. Joe is from Hai
yeah.
Hang, and he says hi.
What's up, Joe? I'll see you in 2 weeks too.
Question here from I don't know who, Facebook user. Who or what inspired Liku?
Um, I wrote this song because this girl I knew like 3 years ago. Um,
Hmm.
so I always see her sad like statuses on Facebook, and then I'm like, "Yo, look at me! Like I'm so into you. Why you don't notice me?" Kind of type, you know, like. So I
Huh.
wrote this song, and I'm not gonna say anybody's name, but like I wrote this song kind of based on what I see with her and what she goes through. So that's pretty much like her relationship, mine being the side guy, or actually she didn't even know who I was at the time. So I'm not even that close to being a side guy either. So I just wrote a song based on what I saw from her and my emotions towards her. So that's what inspired. It was just a life scenario at that moment.
Hmm.
So yep.
All right, we got a first time viewer here, Johnny, who's a friend of mine. First time here. Welcome, Johnny. He says, hearing it, I'll look it up. Yep. So he's going to look into your music. Yoshi says, this is the only music video he doesn't die. All right. God, dying good.
Oh, there's a
um,
couple other ones I didn't die, but I did get beat up pretty bad too. I don't know. It's either I get beat up or I die. But
what's up, guys? I'm not sure who this is. If you write and we don't know who you are, then just add your name at the end. What's up, guys? Got mad respect for producers who came up from using sequencers. Yes, I know keyboard sequencers,
perfect. We love
keyboards,
this guy. You know how
because you
we
had to
feel.
learn how to put everything together the hard way. Yep, I would agree. The struggle is real on a keyboard. You don't get to see anything. You don't get to see much. Let's say that.
When you only have like 200 megabytes to save your music on too.
And you don't have, and the thing is, you don't have any plugins or
Yep.
anything else. You're limited to that keyboard.
Yep. Exactly.
See, they'll never know. They'll never know why. Some people will never appreciate why the music of the '90s and '80s. Art says hi. Hey, what's up, Art?
So Art, he's still gotta send me that beat. I'm trying to rap.
Nice. Lang is here from Circle 18.
Yep. Hey,
Oh, we got
Lang.
John here too.
John
You and
John.
John said he started at 13. You beat him out. You started at 11.
Yeah, I met John John. He's a great mix producer himself. I know he mastered a couple of some tracks that I do jam to.
Hmm.
I believe he's more R&B, hip hop. I think. So definitely, he's got great vocals and he knows what he's doing with his voices. And
Yep.
that's the girl sitting right next to me right now.
Nice. check out John 93 East. Swimming. They call him Swimming 93 East.
Yep.
Lillian's asked the question, what's your favorite song that you released?
My favorite song that I like that I released. Honestly, I think I like my most recent one. I know because the videography, I think we're at our max potential. Not I wouldn't say max potential, but we're at our highest skill set that we put together the previous music video that we shot. The video was great. The song, the drum set was really fine tuned. It took me about 2 weeks to get the snare to sound how I wanted to, and I'm very happy for that. The way how the drum sounding came out, the guitar, the lyrics it
Hmm.
was somewhat heavy, but yeah,
What what
it's.
what drum plugin did you use for this song?
I also use the native instrument for contact. It's just the what is it? I believe it's drum sessionist too. I think I
Hmm.
don't remember because there's like a lot of names. Drummer session is native.
Well, since we're here, why don't we look at it then? Let's look at your favorite song right now that you released. So you released this what I want to say couple weeks ago at the most, not more than less than a couple weeks. How long
Yep.
ago?
I think I released it on October 21st. It was supposed to release on my birthday, all that weekend, the 29th.
Uh-huh.
But I was in Michigan that week. We had a show up there too. So, and I wanted all my cast to come to our premiere party. Quick shout out to Kaz from Passions Restaurant. He supports a lot of our music and the music videos that we filmed there before. So we always go there to do a premiere to show him support back, bring a crowd for him, bring business, and definitely. So we did that on the 21st.
So this is Dimua.
Yes, Rock Garden Studio is a studio right in Appleton. He's done to some bands like Creed. They came recorded there, or the lead singer when he was on his solo album, he was there. Yeah, like everything. So the girl that was dancing right there, she was the one my lead that's high.
How's volume, Xeng?
It's a little
Too loud?
high. Yeah, it's a little high. Right there. Yep, perfect.
All right, here we go. Fight scene. Fight scene.
Let's go, man.
That guy looks so Men in Black right there.
Because they asked me, what do you want us to wear? I'm like, just look gangstery. And they put on a black tie and shades. So I guess that works. So that bat is actually a foam bat. So it still hurt it because it's got weight, but it didn't hurt like a real wooden one. And this like my guy Magic Hang said, when they, like modern day, like people these days, they just pull up their cell phones to record and they post it up. They don't, it's just a little raising awareness to like, yeah, maybe somebody needs help, we should help them. But
instead of helping, they just record.
They record and then they call out World Star and then they walk away. To get some views, followers, social media. And this is the big showdown right here.
That's a big band-aid there.
Yep. It was actually on the wrong side of my face because when he punched me, it was on the left side. Nobody realized that. But and
so you're in a lot of these shots. I'm assuming is this Cheng filming then?
Yeah, Cheng is running this off the gimbal. This is all freehand, just handheld. And then that's the stock footage. I know you're familiar with stock footage. So I do have a subscription to use stock footage. I use that a lot in some of the music videos because you can't get those inserts. So as you notice, some of these shots are a lot more noisier because Sony, this camera had this new update, and then we don't know what happened to log mode, so we shot it with all colors, so it was really noisy. So I had to denoise it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, what camera is this one with?
What was that?
What camera did you guys use to film here?
We shot with Cheng's FX3, Sony FX3, and then also my A7R4 for some of the closer up shots because it has the skin like softener filter on it, so it looked really nice. So our skin looked a lot more smoother, I guess, and skin look. That's Mr. R&B. He's also another artist out of Green Bay.
Instead of helping you, they just film you.
Yeah.
Some kids do these days. I don't know.
Pretty much. I don't know, but that cell phone shot right there was actually a green screen on her cell phone, and then I put the actual footage into the phone.
Oh, that's cool.
And the Ruthless One look right there. So I will be giving out that hoodie on one of my performances coming up. That's an exclusive one. The one that I actually wore in there. I don't know if some fans or some supporters are that crazy to want that, but I'll be giving that out in my next performance, either Minnesota or Washington. So,
and is this Appleton again, where you guys are filming?
Yeah, this is all Appleton. Due to budget reasons, we tend to keep everything local, and we try to make everything use.
That's the is that the house the studio drum kit?
Yeah, so the guy that owns the studio, he has every instrument that you could think of in there. He's got over 50 vintage like amps and cabinets, which is really
Wow.
nice. Senya Huritidoshi.
In the video, is this the girl sitting down or the girl dancing in the back?
This is the girl dancing. She's the main girl. Yeah.
All right, there it is. So that was Dimua recently came out early in mid to late October. If you didn't like us yapping, then go watch it on your own. Lee Sang was just here to give us the inside information. Okay, here we go. We find out who this is now. It's Trisha. Dang, Trisha.
Oh, it's freaking Trisha.
So yeah, I don't. Yes, I don't know why. Trisha, thanks for joining us tonight. Trisha, thank you for joining us. Very good. She says that she's not a musician, but I disagree. Or an artist or a singer, I disagree.
She has great vocals. I'm actually working on a song with her. Just everything's on postpone because I was sick and I have a lot of these other shows, and then and this year I had to film a lot. So I'm sure we'll get that song done by early next year.
Oh, here we go. We got some shop talk. Do you shoot with an actual anamorphic lens, or is it done post production?
Everything is done post production, and the anamorphic lens is too expensive for And we tried the Siri anamorphic lens, but obviously that was APS-C, always cropped. It didn't really work too well on the full frame camera, so we decided to just a lot of our shots are done for autofocusing. We shoot it on the Tamron, and then I do shoot on my Speedmaster, the Mightycon Speedmaster 50 mil, which is a f/0.95. So it's got this kind of very crazy blur. It looks really cinematic, close-up shots. But I do export my videos at the other widescreen, so you get that black bars. I don't just put a black bar on there, but I export it wide.
So we just jumped into
A whole different. I'm so sorry. My apologies.
If you're not into video, well, at least tell them what an anamorphic lens is. So that way they know what this question is really asking.
So what an anamorphic lens is? It's just like I don't know how to say it in the right terms. It's just a lens that's made to capture a wider image, and it compresses it so down. So when you film on your camera, everybody looks squeezed up. But then you can in post production you can expand it back to the proper ratio, and then you get a more wider screen. You cover more image in the center, and you get that big cinematic wide shot versus just using a wide lens. So I think that's my take of it, and you get better light flares, like stretch flat light flares. I don't know, Long, you do video too. I'm sure you have a better explanation.
I've never used an anamorphic lens. A lot of it they like the flaring. And so when I use flaring, no, I don't have an anamorphic lens to do any of that. Everything is done artificially. It's just easier. So.
Yep, and overlays.
Yep. This is did Paradise do? Yeah, Paradise did do a fight video. If you look it up, it's
Yes.
New Yearling. Dude, that was like if you watch that video, that was the early day, right when that was before you had plugins to do like lightsabers, because now you can use a stick and the plugin will turn that into a lightsaber. We didn't have that. The guys who did the video for us editing, they did frame by frame.
Wow,
and if you know that,
crazy.
yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, frame by frame, then you know how painful. Like I remember that they did a fight scene. It would take them like weeks just to do the lightsaber part because they were doing everything frame by frame.
Yep.
So if I just said and you didn't understand that, then that means yeah, there's too much technology in your life right now, frame by frame. Let's see here. Mayno says, I really love your music style. Are you working on the next new song?
So I do have a new song. Actually, I have a lot of new songs. I just haven't got time to record it. It's all been written and produced on the track. The instrumental has already been made. It's just I haven't got time to record it. Like I did mentioned in one of my posts like a couple weeks ago, I'm taking a break for the rest of the year. Kind of figure my stuff out, get my stuff done, and then next year I'll get back to the studio, start recording again. But yes, to answer the question, I am working on a couple new songs, like I promised in September that I wanted to drop 5 songs for the end of the year. I dropped 3. I won't hit 5, but next year definitely more. Nick Loners.
Nick Loners. That's who it is. Okay, Loners. Oh, Loners is they're gonna play this in Fresno this year. So if
The
you're in
90s
Fresno,
band or music thing, right?
what's that?
Is that the 90s
Yep,
uh
90s
band?
2000 band Loners. Yep, Nick Loners.
Perfect.
Blia says it's nice to hear another new artist with a new vibe and music video. Keep it up. So I can't commend you enough, Lee Sang, because you told me that you do all your music, and I think that's beautiful because that's the most authentic way to make music, in my opinion. It's cool to buy beats, but I think people buying beats, they don't really have a choice. By the time you're buying a beat, you don't really have a choice. But if you can make the music, there's something really empowering about being able to make your own music. If you can mix and master your own music, which is really really hard to do. That's why when I speak to you and John, I've got none of respect because it's a whole different ballgame to mix and master. But then also for you to do videography, because then now you can really make the song the way you envision it. So I agree with what Leah is saying here. John says, thanks, you're too nice. Let's catch up. John says, aha.
I'll see you next
Um,
week, John John.
Tom says, do you have a favorite Hmong legend singer that inspires you? Bam, yeah. That's a
Oh,
good question.
quite honestly, I think I liked it long from Paradise.
Oh, snap. Are you kidding
I'm a
me?
big fan. I'm a big fan, man. You were the rapper from Paradise, right?
That was me a
And
long time ago, 20 years ago, though.
I dyed my hair because of your hair when I was little.
Oh my gosh, are you
You were my
serious?
bad influencer. And when Trey said that, "Come jaga flow da," and then I was you the influence. Like I love that
oh,
hair, and then I love your flow and your music
oh
with
man, you got me
Paradise.
blushing now.
No, that's why I've grown up and I always digest this part. I remember.
Wow. Okay. Well,
So
I'm touched by that. Very nice.
big shout out right back to long hair.
Oh dang! See, Kong, you should have asked that question. Now got me all blushed. So Nick Loners, Virginia Lee says, if you had to choose between producing, acting, and videography, which would you prefer, or list them in order? That's a great question.
That is a very good question. So, those of you that don't know, I do try to act here and there. I'm not the greatest actor out there, but I've been acting in a couple music videos, obviously my own a lot. Um, but to kind of rank those, I mean, I don't want to disappoint any of the fans or supporters, but I would prefer do videography versus producing or do music. Just because it's newer to me, and music has been there for me for a long time since I was like 11 and 12. So it's time for something new. But I would say videography, producing, and then acting on the side. Acting would be last because I'm not that great of an actor too, so I'm still learning. And then I'm only getting older by the day too, so my face won't look that great on camera no more.
All right, very good. Well, let's talk about one of these videos where you do have a lot more screen time, and this one's pretty recent too. So this is Thing Chop part two.
Yeah, part two.
Um, can you tell us about this one?
So this song was based off of part one. Obviously, my guy Tuki Zhang, we're really close, and when I heard it, I loved his lyrics, and I
Mhm.
loved the piano vibe, which was produced by Brian Todio.
Mhm.
He makes great beats, and it just sounded really good. It's soothing to my ears, and his lyrics was good. And then what he got me involved in acting in the part one is playing the main guy. Obviously I wasn't the first pick because the first guy wasn't he couldn't make it, so I was second pick and I decided to go, and then it turned out great or somehow. So
Huh.
I loved it so much. I love the storyline. It's such a strong and impactful like story that we can all relate to it, or at least the Hmong community can relate to. Like or like how thing the curse of not being able to be together because you broke the law. The gods don't like that stuff. Shaman will always come and get you.
Hmm.
Type of deal. So I feel like let's do it again. Let's put part two together. I'll produce all of it. The song, the video, I'll fund, or I will find sponsorship and we'll fund the music video, and let's get the actors back involved. And so we did this one. I think it was a great turnout, and I liked it. So we put our whole heart and soul into the lyrics and producing of it, and we got Mr. Blue Lore also on the track too. If you, those of you
That's
that
that
don't
is
know.
that the Blia that's commenting, huh?
No, that's a
Is
different
it a different
player.
one?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a different player.
Okay. Let's keep talking, but let's take a look here.
Yeah, so I also wanted to involve more of the dance community, because I love watching Hmong dances. The competition is real. Like, it gets so emotional. I see girls cry at competition with Hmong dance. So I want to support them. I have my nieces involved, and
Is this Appleton again?
yeah, this is the swamp place now. As bad as it sounds, it's like a reserve. Yeah, this is all done
You've got black hair in this picture. Amazing. In this video.
yeah, this music video, I have black hair, I think. It's kind of like.
This guy uses the most painful words.
It's so deep, yes. It's like I had to ask my parents or my mom, like, what the heck is he saying? I'm sure you know what he's saying. Like, translate this Hmong for me, you know? This girl dancer that was in the middle right there, she's actually the main girl that was in my latest Dimua music video. The dancer one in there again.
I filmed my first Hmong dancing competition this spring. That's like my favorite thing to film now. I'd rather actually film Hmong dance than anything else. So you guys will see me film a little bit more Hmong competition dances. Where's Tukey from? He's not from Appleton, is he?
Yes, he is. He
Oh,
lives
he
like
is.
5 minutes down away from me. So, oh yeah, speaking of Tukey, I want to give a shout out to my boy Tukey. His mother just passed away, so tomorrow
that's right, yeah.
the funerals will be there. Show some love and send a shout out to everybody.
Yeah. I saw his post, pretty sad because he was he was he was performing during that time. He was out of town. That's hard.
Yep, he was with me in Michigan that weekend. Yep. Mr. Blair Laura with the amazing vocals. I love this guy.
Where's Blair from?
He's from the Fox Cities here too. Oshkosh to be exactly. Yeah, I didn't know he lived so close to me until like I actually started meeting him like a few years ago. Yeah, so Mindy Yang is another singer too. She's the second girl in here. She also Hmong dances and she sings. We got her involved and she did great. It was her first time acting. She was very nervous, but we provided her the comfort level that she needed, and she was able to pull through this line with her acting. So it was great having Mindy Yang on the cast.
Nice.
And Kevin, he's a really good actor. He's out of Minnesota too. He played the best friend in this video. And shout out for my guy Tate Cha. He's the bad this guy right here, the boyfriend. He's from Milwaukee. He's also an artist too, upcoming artist. He has a couple songs in the works and one out already. Lots of flashbacks.
Oh.
And then that's the fate of not being together. But so to explain this, I know it gets a little confusing because she gets hit by a car, but she doesn't die. And then I know that this music video has been out for a while, so we can spoil the storyline or whatever. But so they're like halfway gone. They're in their spirit form right now. I don't realize now. I realize that I'm dead. I was shot and I actually died. And then she comes up, but she's actually in a coma. In which at the end, after credit scene, the post-credit scene, she wakes up. And this is in the dream world or whatever. And 2 months later, she's in a coma. She wakes up. So originally, we were supposed to have a shaman guy walking out this door, but Tuki was busy all week, so we just cut it out. Because this shaman told me but then like Tuki busy, and I was like, all right, screw it. She just wakes up and she just starts sketching her drawing, and the drawing is actually right here. I actually still have it right here. You see it.
Huh. Cool.
Nice. It was drawn by Sean. He did some arts for Memoirs of a Honeymoon Girl too. He did some of the artwork for that guy.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And that's the shot right there, the photo. I'm a really big fan of K-drama credit scene, so I always do the freeze frame and then credits and music. Yes, I love like these photo slide ending, you know. So I know I do this a lot in my music videos. I know people are like that's really nice. I'm like, no, it's nothing original. It's just I was inspired by like the Korean dramas at the ending of every episode.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that's exactly what it is.
Nope.
Nice, beautiful.
And I try to give some highlights for the girl dancer, their hard work and putting up a dance routine for it.
This was the snare.
The snare?
Is it the snare that you were talking about?
Oh no, the snare I was talking about was in the Dimua song.
One.
Yeah, the rock snare. This is just some 808s and some R&B kicks, so it's not too hard to layer.
Very nice.
Yeah, so pretty much this is the scene that I was talking about before she wakes up, and then it wraps up. He comes and gets the guy, and then she wakes up after this scene. But
is that the guy that was in the suit?
yeah. That's my friend. Shout out to Big Mac. We call him BM Big Mac. He's always there to support me and Tubi's music video. He runs a lot of errands for us too, so he's done a lot of work behind the scenes.
Dope, very dope. All right, let's back to some of these. So people definitely want your hoodies. Send your hoodie to Michigan. Send me your hoodie.
There's only one hoodie I made exclusively just for the music video. So if you're the lucky one supporter, I will definitely give it out one of these days.
I love how today's Hmong music has expanded so much in genre and not just your typical sad love song. I think you're the only one right now that's creating that genre of music that I can think of, anyways.
In a way, I mean, we do have Hands Band. We can't forget about Hands Band. When they were Hands Band, they did do that really punk rock style. And then we still have Southern Rush. You know, we can't forget those guys. And then so we still do it. There's still other couple, but very, very, very minimal, very limited on what we have.
I think that your style is different though, because you do like a punk rock.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, like skateboard punk rock music.
Yeah. Hey, Cali Shine is here. This is Aiden's dad.
Hey, how you doing, man? Missed y'all.
Blias says, sorry, bro, but your looks keep reminding me of David Choi. Okay. Let's see here. LXT, when are we getting candlelight versions of your songs? You know, I'm going to keep asking until you release them.
You know, for that, I will probably do it this coming year. I feel like Liku is due for the candlelight version, so I will do an acoustic unplugged version for that song.
Oh, this is the LV Heard. People don't know this person. That's my wife. She's actually curious. Did you get in trouble with your parents too for dyeing the hair? I did. Of course, I got in trouble. So I'm Catholic, and I remember one New Year I had dyed my hair, and a nun had seen it, and she was not happy. Yoshi says, "Will there be Theng Cha Part 3?"
So there's been rumors and talks about Part 3. My videographer Cheng, he really wants to push Part 3, and then Tuki and I, we were okay with it. I said, let's do it. It's in planning. But he's got a lot of wedding videos that he's got to film too at the same time. So obviously we don't even have a track yet. So I think we're going to work this next one backward. But I can't promise anything yet since everybody's so busy for the end of this year. And I'm taking a break too. Tuki's also taking a break for his life situations. Mm-hmm. So hang tight. We'll have better news by the end of this year.
Very good. Kong is asking more shop questions. I always see you film your camera with your hands instead of using a gimbal, especially during Vichai concert. Do you prefer filming with your hands or gimbal?
I prefer with the gimbal. I'm a gimbal user. It's just that when I shot Vichai's concert, I forgot my gimbal.
Hmm.
So I dropped my lens down to a 24 mil. So obviously when you go wider, it's less shaky. So I just
Mhm.
shot in 24 mil. So I was able to kind of just wing it out, hold it tight as my chest as possible, and get it like steady as I can. And then obviously documentary style, some shakiness is perfect. It blends in just well too. So
I think you can get away with a lot with handheld with all the like if you're especially if you're using a stabilized like if you're shooting on a Sony,
mhm.
the internal stabilization is good, and if you have a lens that stabilizes, you can trick a whole lot of people.
Yep, exactly. And then you also got post production for stabilizing too. So it's
Yep.
definitely
So I think you discussed this already. Can you spill the beans on Thing Chat Part 3? Okay, well here it is. Will you be singing and producing as well?
most likely I'll be producing it. Probably Tuki would like me to sing. Ching would like me to sing. I'll probably be acting again because Tuki likes to keep the cast original.
Hmm.
So one of these days we reach out to Judy Her. She's the actress. If she's down to do the part three, we'll bring her back on board and we'll run part three. But right now, like I said, we don't have any exact answer yet. Can't promise anything.
We've got Yami League. Hey guys, Long, we'd love to join on a podcast. Yes, Yami, I would love to do a
Yami.
live session. You know who Yami is?
I know that she's a great singer.
Yep, she
And she hangs
is.
out. Yeah, some of my guys when they came to perform there too. So they're close. I'm not close to Yami, but I follow some of her music and she's really good. So
I
yeah.
think the last time I saw her significantly was in 2013 at HMF in
Oh,
Fresno, and I think she was performing at that time. And I remember specifically at the end they were going to do um like a after concert jam, and she asked me if I wanted to go, and I was so tired I told her no, but I probably should have said yes, but I regret it. Um, yo yo yo, I'm not sure who this is. Kong says, "Glad to see you have the famous Hmong singer Mindy Yang as an actress." Yes. Do you know? So is Mindy actively working on music right now?
she I don't know. I haven't kept updates with her, but she's more. She did release like a couple years back. She had a song collaboration with C Lee or Side Lee, right, when he was still
Mm-hmm.
here.
Mm-hmm.
So that song was a big hit too. But mainly I've seen a lot of covers that she did, and they were also amazing on YouTube. So I haven't kept updates with her, so I'm not sure where she's at right now. But I'm sure she's still working stuff.
Very good. Thanks for the
Thanks for the
shout out. I'm
shout
not
out.
quite sure that is. Um, Blia says, "Yeah, correct. I'm not. Sorry, Blia. I'm not Blia Law. I'm just a newbie who loves producing music. Blia Music. I have to check that out then. Blia Music."
I will check them.
Um, Yang says, "Lee saying, have you given thought of making instrumental version of Thing Cha 2 for Hmong dancers?" Huh.
So we okay, so yeah, that was an idea that me and Tuki had for a while. I wanted to promote that music video by having a dancing version, and we want the girls to do like a dance competition to like dancers that have makeup of dance routine that music or that song. But eventually we'll probably release one or a version that is more dance oriented or that you can make a dance routine for a lot easier. But yeah, it's not a bad idea. Definitely, we're considering it. Yes.
All right, very good. And we've got Pa Yang all the way from Oregon. Yes, still waiting for Hands Band and Ruthless One concert. I don't think Hands Band is together anymore, from my understanding. Um,
I believe it's just Dang Hands now. It's
yeah.
him, and he's kind of switched to like more of the jazzy and blues
Hmm.
style.
I
So
thought I thought Hands was like hands down the best rock band that I've seen in a long time. Like they were legit.
yes,
Like whatever they played on their songs, they reproduced it live. I think that Dang created an awesome sound, but I will say that in the absence of the guitarist, the drummer, and the bass, every single one of those musicians were essential to that sound.
hmm
Because they played kind of like almost like a prog rock, prog metal sound. It was
yes.
really different. I don't know. I would love it if they ever came back. So
If they ever came back for a show, I'll have to go look for a pickup band to play my music too, just to line up with them because I do not have a band. So I just pick up the mic and if I'm lucky, this guitar is sitting around, and I'll play the track with the guitar, and I try to multitask. I'm not good at
Have you ever
multitasking.
attempted to have a band play any of your music?
Not yet. I reached out, and they're like, "Oh, this is the time frame to play that type. It's a little bit more.
It
It's a little bit
I,
more work."
the stuff that you I think because the genre of music that you play, you can't really you could improvise it, but you kind of can't. You have to play it very exact. Otherwise, it won't sound like that too.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I create my music, I really put a signature sound to it. To like when you hear
Hmm.
it, you know it's that song or something. So
Hmm.
like sometimes if you don't imitate the little riff or melody, it's hard to tell if that song's actually starting to play out, and they won't know until the my voice comes in or the verse comes in. Then they'll know. So
Hmm.
it's a little bit of a work there.
Let's see. Mimi Lore says, which other Hmong artists would you like to work with and why?
So I really want to work with Pat from Sudden Rush.
Oh, Pat.
I
Pat here.
yes, I love the way she sings. I love how she does her straights. I know I know that in singing a lot of vibrato is always great. It shows your talent, it shows your voice control. But when you can sing straight high notes for a long duration of there's talent too. Because me personally, like the voice, I'm not the best vibrato singer or have that natural vibrato in my
Hmm.
voice. I just sing straight flats because I'm so used to emo music. So emo music, no vibratos at all. Alternative rock, not a lot of you can't even hear it. Sing
Yeah.
straight high, and that's it. And I think Pat and I we would make a pretty good compatible vocals overlay and whatever. So I think right now I would love to work with Pat and Stern Rush. So, and they're already in the genre of rock already, so it'd be really easy to work with.
Very interesting. And so this is Michelle. She says, yes, do part
Two for
three.
three.
Vasengva says, I like handheld. Yeah, he's an up and coming content creator. I love his stuff. He fishes and he cooks it right in front of you on video.
Beautiful.
The Dila says, oh, we have to remember that a lot of our viewers are actually in that so
Oh,
they always tell me speak in Hmong more, but let's see. And
come on, speak mong được có to.
yeah, nê xong đợi món đỡ dữ hai luôn món nê xong đợi mày cả dữ tới mày cả.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here it is right here. Hai luôn món ở tí. Let's see.
Mm.
Okay, so Charlie says, Charlie Vu Park says, what's the biggest thing coming in 2023?
So Charlie is my guy. He's all the way from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. He's an upcoming rapper too. I have a song with him coming up. I don't think that's the biggest thing coming in 2023, but I still have to send my vocals finish. I know I've been procrastinating. I'm sorry, brother, but I will get to it. I have a lot of stuff going on, and I'm really picky with my vocals, so I'll send you as soon as I can. Biggest thing coming in 2023, I think more collaboration, more shows, and I do want to host I want to bring back Battle of the Bands again. I don't know if you heard that, but
Hmm.
it's a long time ago, my high school days, there are Battle of the Bands, so like, a lot of bands just come and play together. So that's my biggest vision. I might try to push that and make that happen next year for everybody.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big task. Wow.
It's big. A lot of you're not looking at 5 artists in a lineup of 5. You're looking at 5 lineups of 15 people per performance. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully I can make it work. He's
Con wants to know what gimbal you use.
I use the DJI the Ronin RS3. I might get the new one. No, sorry. RSC2, sorry. RSC2. Yep.
Potra says, big fan of you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yoshi says, LXR or LXT and Long needs to make a song and Long rap again. Oh
Long
boy,
rap
no,
again.
Long cannot rap again. Actually, no, I don't consider myself a rapper. I don't think I really know how to rap, but like, the thing is, you hear things in your head, right, Lee saying, and then you just have to get it out, and that's the way. I think if I was able to rap again, I would sound very different though. But
No, you would sound just like the Long we all know.
LXT, and then Charlie says, "We believe in you, bro." And Jesus says, "Có your mong đỡ là có your mong chúa ở quyền dân."
Long cái mong đỡ. Are mong đỡ?
Quyền mong đỡ mà, yeah.
Mong đỡ. Yeah, quyền mong đỡ theo.
Yep.
Mong đỡ. Yeah.
Kuchinakan Jesus. I think Jesus. I'm almost certain they are mong đỡ too. I think. I don't remember you talking to me in Hmongoose. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna jump back to some of the questions that some of your fans asked on your website. And so let's see here. So do you plan on releasing heavier, darker rock songs?
I do. I have one because I keep getting called that I'm the Moan Lincoln Park. That's things going around. And I guess if you guys want to label me like that, then yeah, you're gonna get what you want to hear. So I do have one very, very Linkin Park inspired. So it's coming out next year. I'd say probably late winter, the early spring. So yeah, I mean it's not crazy heavy, but it's a little bit darker vibe, kind of like Chibone, but more on that style. Distortion on the drums, kind of type thing.
Cool. Flip side. When will you release a happy song?
So my life is dark. No, I'm just kidding. But I will. I do have one too. I do have more. It's more like We the Kings. I don't know if you guys know We the Kings and Boys Like Girls. I have one that is inspired by that kind of style too, and that'll be a happy song. It's more of a flirt song, or yeah. So I will have one.
Another question: what's your favorite part about traveling to different places?
Um, I think it's just meeting new people, trying out new food. Or actually no, I don't really try out new food. I go to a different state or city. I just want to go find where's the best pho place right here. So it's same food, but it's different. So you want to try pho. I love pho. I'm really picky. I make okay pho too, so I'm very picky. But yeah, it's just the fans, the supporters. Like I love meeting them personally, talking to them on a personal level, getting to know them, even though I won't remember them. But as long as we connected and we share ideas, and there's networking is endless. So definitely.
Recently, I've had this huge fascination with Nava, trying to get good Nava. So
Now,
I've, I think I found the best place in Minnesota, and it seems like it's Cocoa Cream in St. Paul, which was actually
okay.
really good. And then my favorite place in the Valley in California, Xeng, if you ever driving through Trey's neck of the woods in Merced, there's a little hole in the wall place called I think it's Miss or Mrs. Papaya. The papaya in
Okay.
there. I mean, I'm not a big papaya fan. My wife is, but their nava in there is so good, crazy good.
Ooh, I'll have to try it.
Try
Definitely.
it.
I will. And that's what you said, Fresno
That's in
or
Merced.
Merced. Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
So let's see here. Will you ever perform with a full band?
Um, eventually, I honestly like that's my dream plan, dream goal, or a goal to perform is with a band because I know that my music is I made it super complex, but I've had asked bands to play for me, and they said they can't get it like that. But I tell them, you play it how you play it. I just want a show. Like we play it, we have a good time on stage. Just play it. So eventually, I will, and I do want to play with a full band or perform with a full band.
Nice. You kind of answered this, but you can answer it again and maybe provide a little bit more detail. How did you start writing and making music?
Um, so when I write music, I tend to write. I usually make the music first, or the song, the backtrack or the track first, and then when I find like a topic, I try to blend that in, rework the song. How did I start writing? Is I listen to a lot of music. Like when I work, I listen to music nonstop. Unfortunately, I know some people will say I'm biased or that I don't support the Hmong music, but I really don't listen to much Hmong music either. Hence why a lot of my melodies, my song is not very like Hmong melodies. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but
Yeah.
I only listen to Mika music a lot growing up and even today. So with music in my ears all day long, 24/7, and I get inspired to write my own songs. So and that's how I started it. I want to put my voice on the tracks, on the record. Sometimes someday you look back when you get older, you want to know that you put some stuff down and people know you or people remember your voice, kind of type thing, and
So
speak your voice.
so talking about writing music that's out of the Hmong box, I think there is a sound to Hmong music, but I think
There
that's
is.
partially because there's only, I don't know, an X amount of Hmong producers too. I think that's part of the issue. And that's kind of why I say that's why I always promote artists to try to, if they can, make their own music, because then you
Mhm.
get what the artist really is. But let's, so this is the song that you made recently also of Kiana, and let's take a look. I think this song's really, it's a really extremely good song. That from what you told me you wrote, it's not a track, it's not a beat that you bought, it's
Mhm.
actually your own hands making. And when I found this out, I was like, whoa, that's awesome, because
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard a Hmong person write a song like quite like this one. Especially kind of, I wrote in your, the first thing I noticed is, whoa, look at the keys. You're not playing. You're changing the pitch. You're messing around the pitch, which is really brave to do, because a lot of people won't. And you have to work harder to do that, and a lot of people aren't willing to do it. But let's listen to the song, and they'll see what I'm talking about. I'll tell them what I really liked about this song. I'll give a little commentary from another producer
I'll
friend.
let you do the commentary on this one, Long. You got this.
All right, you can add whatever you want, but I'll tell you why I really like the song. Let's see here. So right there, if you listen to that, he messes with the pitch. He's not afraid to mess around the pitch, which is really brave. Big fat kick. I like the ambience of the keys. It's like almost like a bell or tine or a road key. I like the snare. Sometimes people forget to listen for the reverb. The reverb on the snare is really well done. So there's two different snares that you use in this song. Obviously, the verse has a different snare. People don't know how to listen to that. I listen to him like, no, he's putting effort into the snare. He's not just using the same snare, and that's really important, because that's how you build a song. You use different instruments, but oftentimes you see Hmong people just looping like an eight measure loop. What your instrumentation? What are you using in the song? You're using a pad that you're continuously shifting the pitch on it. That creates that really dreamy sound in the song. What else are you using?
So a lot of it is piano keys. Of course, I hold on it. I turned down all the lows, all the highs, and kept that little really mellow, soft, lo-fi, warm sound. So soft and warm. So I do that a lot with pianos. And I do use the reverse keys right here. If you listen to this part here, it's just.
Yep.
So it's just a reverse chord, yeah, on the keys.
See, people, you do that, and people don't realize.
Yeah.
We call it ear candy. Use ear candy, guys. Like, I really appreciate it that you just didn't play your piano. You warped it. You oscillated it. Maybe you did an LFO, or you just mixed out certain frequencies, which brings out the vocals.
When you use like reverse effects on like keys, piano, you get this flashback. There's, because we were trying to talk about reminiscing, or when you do that, kind of like the song "Wedding Dress" with Tay Yang. It's like you're reminiscing from the past, lots of flashbacks coming into the lyrics. Reverse the keys. Reverse it, you get this time turning, talking back kind of thing. That's what I did for my daily decisions.
The song has definitely a lot of major chords, but then when you command the song, it goes minor right away, and that's what's really cool. It's like a happy song in certain parts, but your minor chords blend right in. So right here, it sounds like it's major, but your chords are minor right there too.
Yep, it's all minor.
I'm listening to this in mono, but I'm sure you're doing some crazy stereo stuff too.
That's Dimua.
So nothing but mad respect for me for that song because it was so creative. I love it when artists make their own music and it's like freaking out of the box crazy. Like I'll listen to some of like the vocals and arrangements like John his type of stuff. I'm like, whoa, that's really creative. Even if sometimes John will use a producer, but still, the vibe is so different, and I appreciate that because it contributes to the wealth of the Hmong community, the music scene. Let's get you some questions. Believe it or not, Lee saying we're like an hour and a half in. Time's kind of it
All
always
right.
flies by during these
Yeah.
live sessions. But favorite instrument to play?
Um, the piano. I love playing the piano. I've But my favorite instrument to hear is actually Lu Keng Ma from that Blanc Keng. I love it.
Mm.
I
Oh
just
wow,
recently bought a plugin that can do that. And my next couple
wow.
songs that I'm gonna do next year, I'm probably gonna do some Blanc implemented kind of
Oh, you
feel.
started doing some more traditional music. I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to get more involved in the Hmong community and like make some dance songs for the dancers because I know that they're always looking for somebody to remix a song so they could dance to, or so like why don't I make some stuff that they can use just right off the bat, you know? So and I love blonde music too. Honestly, like you wouldn't think that I listen to blonde music, but I love blonde music and the bamboo instrument. So I love the
Mm,
Khan instrument. You know.
very nice. So Jesus answers, yeah, Niam Hong Do. I won't answer. I won't put up Yang's question here because we're talking Ruthless One here. On behalf of Fresno's Hmong radio station, KBF 900 AM Hmong radio, we play your music often and love it. Keep it up. So that's Chris. That's the other host.
Thank you, Chris. Much love.
So some fans are asking, "Hello, Lee Sang, are you coming to Fresno, California?"
Um, I don't know. We'll see if Trey talks asks me. I don't know. Right now I'm
Mm,
not. It's a far stretch for traveling, and but I'm not booked for anything there. So if I do, definitely I would love to come to Fresno. So
mm.
what I've never been to Fresno
You've never
either.
been to Fresno?
No, I've been there for vacation. I came there for like a day, and then we went straight to Vegas after. So
Nice.
didn't spend time there. Didn't get to see the Hmong community or the Hmong crowd there. The New
There's
Year.
not there's not a lot to see in Fresno, but it's what's around Fresno. Unless you come during New Year, then there's a lot to see. But Fresno, you want to go to either the beach or the mountains, or it's a gateway to Vegas too. Chris, how are you, Chris? Thank you for saying hi. So Porno says, "Come to Fresno. I'll get you some yummy pho." Yes, take her
I
up on
do.
that.
I do hear that Kelly has the best photos, so definitely.
Oh, there we go. Ali saying
Ali's speaking.
R1 and Ali one day.
Yes, I love Ali's voice. He has one of the cleanest,
He
smoothest, soothing vocals for
does.
male artists out there right now. I love his voice. So
You know what's
one day,
interesting about his voice? When I first heard his voice, he sounds like a textbook studio singer. Like
yeah,
because
eh,
he's you can tell he tries to sing perfectly on pitch
mm,
every time. So he's got a very like a very solid well I guess well disciplined voice and sound.
I don't have that, so I do rock.
Yeah. Replying to Ali Chang, yes, yes, do it. Out of all your songs, which is your favorite, dearest to you?
Um, I think my own songs. I honestly, I'm not too sure. I don't have an exact answer, but I do like Yachimoka, the second song that came out. It was a slower one because I wrote. I think it's the lyrics is very meaningful in a way, and I got some really good feedback. So it is rather of a sad love song. It's how to cope with if I don't have you kind of type. And I know the title Yachimoka. There's a few Hmong songs out there that was called that way, but I wanted to do my version or my story of it too. So The second verse of that song it goes ở Nhật point mama blo itu ju mua itu thôi itu ha itu lo đó itu khen ta itu sau way là quá but then nó có dark one it's kind of like that very Silas Sibotican influence to lyrics.
Very nice. And Pono says, I think it's amazing how you don't listen to a lot of Hmong songs, but you're able to incorporate Hmong lyrics into your rock beat. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I think this is Virginia's commenting about the last song.
Jingmoka song. Yeah, I saw that popped up at that.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe the vibe in that song. It's something of its own.
So I was a little bit influenced by Tae Yang Eyes, Nose, and Lips for the chords, the piano. I don't know if you guys know
Uh-huh.
that song, but it was a
Yep.
little bit of chords from that too.
So Chai says, thank you for the cocoa cream recommendation. I have to try it out. Okay, so if you guys go to cocoa cream, I consider myself I have a better understanding of cocoa cream. So they only make two variations. They're normal and they're special. Get the special and add ice because it's really sweet and I liked it better with ice. I'm not sure who this is, but yes, my guy Li Seng is talented. Someone says yes, we still have to drum battle.
I think that might be. Oh, I'm not sure.
Another Facebook user, yes, come to Fresno. How did you become a videographer? Oh, that's a great question.
So I became a videographer just because when I was doing music and I want to do music videos, I just don't have a videographer to do it. And I originally just wanted to point a camera at me sitting there on a tripod and then perform it and then just go film the other people acting. So that's how I wanted to become a videographer because I know that there's not enough resource in my area to have to get job done here. So I wanted to be able to also provide that service to myself and other people. So I just got myself involved in videography. So that's kind of how I got into it. Is do it all. You know, if you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it for you. Kind of type mentality. So.
Yep, I agree. Minho says I played mostly R1's music when running errands or going out to work. Yep. Kiana's here. Hey.
Hi, Kiana. What's going on, homegirl? It's been a minute. I'm still checking on you here and there.
And we got another Hmong artist here, Macy House here. Hey Macy, how are you?
Hello.
And then this is who it is. I didn't know you can see my name. It's Tay Cha.
Oh, Tay.
Very
Yeah, that's my guy. He's my actor. The boyfriend on I think Cha Part 2.
yeah. So I think we've caught up to all the questions. So I think we've achieved what we wanted to do. We got a lot of Q&A, but a lot more than I thought we were gonna get. So it's been great. Is there anything else that you want to say to the fans out there that are watching?
Not a lot, but I really appreciate everybody's love and support. And I know that my music doesn't ring in everybody's ears just because but then just remember that I'm trying to keep this rock kind of vibe alive for generations to come. And I know that I grew up with this rock music, and it all started from at least a little bit for rock music. So just remember that this music is still there, and I want to keep it alive, and I want to show you guys all my love and passion for music. But other than that, I will see you guys soon too because I have a show, part of a show, and again I mentioned this earlier with Oil Entertainment from Gubang Cho's album release party next week Friday at Hmong House in Minnesota, and then after that I'll be in North Carolina Hmong New Year. I think the weekend of Thanksgiving, and we will have a show there along with the players. I know you guys know the players. They will be having. I believe that might even be their first show ever, or first or second. I don't know, but I know they haven't been on stage in a while. So we'll be there for that Saturday, following weekend of the North Carolina Hmong New Year. So I look forward to see you guys all there.
Very nice. Bono, she's gonna get the last word and she says, "You guys are amazing. Thank you for giving us the opportunity." Yeah, I absolutely love doing this, and they're saying come back to Michigan. But I love doing this because we pay folks have to pay a lot of money to get VIP status, so they can just shake your hand, and maybe they'll get maybe a couple of questions into you if they're there. But I like doing these live sessions because they can ask all the questions they want. Some people have asked 5, 6, 7 questions. And so I want to thank you sincerely. Thank you, Ruthless One, Xeng Thao, for joining me tonight on a whim, randomly, almost. So I appreciate for joining. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Time flew by. We're going on 2 hours. Um, oh shoot, one more question. I don't. If you can answer this, are you performing at Huavu and Winvang concert in Appleton?
I don't know yet. I know the flyer is out that they're on tour for this area, but I know how they run it, so they're not going to get a lineup confirmed until I'd say about a month or a few weeks into it. So right now we don't even know who's actually performing yet, too. So we shall see. We'll find out. I don't know
I
yet.
wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if Trey's still watching. I'm sure Trey's watching in the background. But Lee Sang, I wish you the best. I don't always comment, but I guarantee I'm always watching. So
Thank you for that.
I follow your stuff, and it's a pleasure. I appreciate what you do. There aren't in this age of your generation and the younger generation, there aren't a lot of people that can do what you do, make their own music, mix and master it. So you have a very powerful subset of skills, especially with videography. And so I wish you the best, especially as you take your break. And then 2023, everyone will be keeping an eye out for you. If you haven't already, follow this guy on social media on Lee Sang Thao on Facebook. And also, I think it's Ruthless One Music on YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe, follow, friend, like, and share, and help him grow. Thank you again, Lee Sang. 新居多。
Thank you, Long. Thanks for having me. Let's talk soon. Thanks,
Okay,
everybody.